I, 27, am facing divorce with my wife, 31, F of 2 years, been together for 6. Because I pointed out it's not biologically possible our newborn is ours. I, 27, am and my wife, 31F, just had our son few days ago. We've been living in different countries for about a year because of work, having a long-term relationship. At the start of when we started long-term, our relationship went sour, and we separated for a few weeks. No contact. It was me who dumped her. After a few weeks passed, the feelings of regret got a hold of me, and I contacted her and said I want to patch things up and we can save our marriage. It took a bit of convincing, but since we already had a pre-booked holiday in Spain, we agreed to take it. We had a great time, like in the beginning of our relationship. Had sex also, even though it wasn't like it used to be. After the holidays, we flew back to our respective countries. After we got back, I tried convincing her again to work on our relationship, but the nice holiday woman was gone, and she was full of rage for hurting her. In a fit of rage, she said to me over a video call that it's not possible to fix anymore because she had already been with someone else. That broke me completely, and I hung up and didn't speak with her for close to a month. After a month passed, I couldn't resist myself and sent her an email of all my feelings and everything the relationship ever meant to me. She replied and said we need to talk. We had a call, and she said she was pregnant. She said it was from holidays. I asked, how do I know it's mine? She said she had lied about being with someone because she wanted to hurt me, and it's up to me if I want to be there for my kid and fix our relationship or not. Yes, I do. Even if the cheating part was correct, as long as it's my child, I want to be part of his life. The first ultrasound placed the date of gestation one day before her flight to Spain, and about 4 days before we actually had sex, which was a little worrying, but it was not a red flag at the time. Over the next few months, our relationship got better, and we patched things up. I visited once for a few weeks for gender reveal, and we made plans for me to take 2 months off for the delivery. Delivery got closer and I flew over. Everything was fine. We spent the Christmas and New Year enjoying the last stretch of pregnancy, and I tried to support her with best I can. After the birth, when they released us from hospital, I had to take photocopies of the papers that the hospital gave us, and that's when I saw it. My kid's blood type was ABL. Both me and my wife are AA. We've been tested and it's on our ID cards. So unless it's a medical error or super rare case of chimerism, it's not possible. I kept it to myself for a few days, but I was dying inside, and my wife noticed my changed mood. After a while, I couldn't keep brushing her off and tried to explain to her that I saw the papers and is not biologically possible, or it's a medical error. I never directly said the kid is not mine, or she cheated. She blew up in rage, kicked me out of our home at midnight in a country I have no one, and said she doesn't want me near her baby, and never to see me again, and not to speak to her family either. We haven't been to register the birth yet, and I'm not on the birth certificate yet. Before she kicked me out, I did take samples for a discrete paternity test that I submitted today. I'm not sure I took enough material for the test though. I will find out in 10 days. I'm completely shattered. Was I wrong to doubt my son and ask about it? Update. So a lot of people have been quick to judge our previous relationship as toxic for the whole duration, and misunderstood some parts of it apparently, so I will give you a quick backstory. We met in Australia 6 years ago, both as foreigners. The relationship developed fast, and in 3 months, we were living and loving together. We had arguments, of course, over silly things like who would cook while the other one made the bed, etc., but it was probably the most amazing time of my life. We could talk about everything in a civilized way, even if we didn't agree. It stayed like that until mid-2021. World was in COVID pandemic, and Australia was the most locked up place of them all. My wife's aunt, my middle twin sister, passed away from COVID. My wife was always close to her, so she decided to leave pretty much overnight and leave everything behind, including me and the life we had built over the years. I wasn't ready to leave so soon, so I stayed for another 6 months to finish the lease, save money, and sell the things we had and go after her. For clarity, at that moment, it was impossible to re-enter Australia for non-citizens, so her decision was permanent. I love her, so I wrapped my life up and went after her to her home country, Colombia. I'd never been before, and it was a big change for me. Everything from language to culture to family relations was completely new for me. We got married in April 2022. I'd made up my mind about marrying her a year before. I wanted it to be special. After first few months, the excitement faded and I started realizing that I can't live in Colombia permanently. I just didn't get used to it all. The arguments got stronger, and our relationship dynamic shifted. It got to a point early 2023 that I decided, for partially financial reasons, partially because I was unhappy with where I was living, to go to work in Europe, where I had great professional opportunities and I didn't need any paperwork. The plan was for her to follow after I've settled in, so we didn't plan to stay long-distance relationship. Now we get to the dumping part of our relationship that people are quick to judge me for. And it's true, I did say to her the words, "I don't see a way for both of us to be happy. Let's take some time and we can talk after we've had time." It was after she cut all contact with me for 2 weeks, over a fight we had over stupid things. She just said, "Go live your life and I will live mine," and blocked all channels of contact with me. So yay, in theory I did dump her, but it wasn't a mem over you bitch see ya situation. Now we get to the part of pre-holiday. The silence lasted a few weeks. After that I caved. I missed her. And I can see for some of you that time would mean fucking and drinking. For me it was going to therapy, working and exercising and working on myself internally and digesting what had happened. Follow or subscribe